Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today I will be talking you through the best way, in my opinion, to upgrade your old Shimano Hyperglide compatible rear hub to a 12-speed setup. Now, when I decided to do this conversation, I'm currently running a 10-speed, single-speed, 10-speed setup on my bike. Decided to bring my bike a little bit more up to current speed and opt for a 12-speed system because my old gears were starting to wear out and all that kind of stuff. So I needed to upgrade some stuff anyway. So 12-speed is the way to go these days. It is not as straightforward as you would imagine, purely on the basis nowadays a lot of the newer systems would be micro spline compatible, which is not compatible with a Hyperglide style rear hub setup. So I'm going to explain to you which parts I've purchased to enable me to do so, and basically help you avoid making any mistakes, because there is a lot of conflicting information on the internet, particularly and really poorly on bike company websites and retailer websites. False information, so you buy up the wrong part, which is not good for anyone. So I've done all the hard work so you can get it done without purchasing the wrong parts basically. So in order to get yourself going, you're going to need a new front shifter. I replaced, when I purchased the bike in 2014, I upgraded a lot of the drivetrain. So I had an XTR shifter on there. I decided not to go for an XTR shifter on this occasion, purely on the basis that I'm guessing that SLX has now caught up with XTR of 6 years ago. I don't need anything flash, I'm not racing anyone, so I decided to go for that. It's quite a budget option, it's about 30 quid I think, if I remember correctly. So that is definitely not going to break the bank, and it works great. So that is a Shimano SLX, which is model number M7100. Great piece of kit. Okay, obviously I had to change all of the cables inner and outer as well. So the next thing that will bring us onto is the front chainring. So I'm just going to zoom in onto that for you. Now, you would think with a 12-speed conversion, it's just going to be, you know, pretty straightforward, and you just keep your old chainring. That is not the case. I've gone for a Shimano style setup, so a lot of this won't be relatable to anyone who's looking for SRAM advice, because I've never used that gear. I've just always been a Shimano guy, so that's the way I wanted to go with this. So, the new 12-speed chains, why will they not work with a regular older style chainring? The reason being, the gauge and the thickness of the chain is narrower than an old 9, 10 or 11 speed chain, so you need a different profile of teeth on the chainring. Now, I've always been happy with my race face narrow wide chainring. However, trying to ascertain whether I can use a newer one, because I'm changing the gearing at the back, I can also change the gearing at the front to give me better gears for myself. I decided to look for a race face narrow wide chainring that will work with 12 speed. Now, some retailers, namely Wiggle in the UK, advertised that the race face narrow wide chain rings are compatible with 9, 10, 11 and 12 speed. They do not work with 12 speed chains, or 12 speed Shimano chains, should I say. I don't know about the SRAM stuff. So basically, the information is wrong. Race face actually do a specific chain ring for the Shimano 12 speed system, okay, which is compatible with their chain, but they are very, very difficult to get hold of. On the UK distributor website, I couldn't find any mention of it, okay, which is just rubbish, isn't it, to be fair. So I had to look elsewhere. I couldn't get hold of the race face one anywhere, so I had to look elsewhere. And this company, Wolftooth, I've never used any of their gear before, but I know they've got a great reputation, and they actually do a specific chainring for Shimano 12 speed. I don't know if you can see that on there. Let me just focus in on that. It says there SH12 Shimano 12 speed. Come in focus, please. Okay, so this is obviously has a tooth profile. I'm going to have to go on manual focus for a second because it is having a hard time with that. There you go, that should do. Okay, so this has got a narrower tooth profile to facilitate the narrower chain for the 12 speed. And it seems to work good. It's narrow wide again, so I should not have any issues with the chain slipping or falling off. This was not a cheap piece of kit, considering it's probably about the most basic part which I've changed. It was quite pricey. I won't tell you how much, in case my wife is watching, but it was about £20. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so next, the chain. I previously had, again, a Shimano XTR chain on the bike, but, you know, I'm not doing any racing or anything. I'm not trying to impress anyone. So I've basically just gone for the Shimano SLX chain again, the model number M7100. There are different lengths of this chain available. Probably, I don't know why, but there just is. I went for the longest version that you can get because it's easier to take away from a chain than it is to add to it if you don't have the parts. So I have done that, and I've got a nice new shiny chain. So the next thing I've had to change is the rear cassette, which I will focus in on here. This is a great bit of kit, this is. In fact, first of all, I'm going to cover the rear mech. Okay, so you can see I've got a nice new shiny rear mech on here. I have replaced this does replace a Shimano Z short cage 10-speed rear mech, which is no good obviously. I need 12 speed, so I've got a 12-speed specific Shimano rear mech, which is the Shimano SLX model. Again, model number M7100. This has got a very long cage to facilitate the larger cogs that you'll get on a chain set these days. Sorry, you know, what do you call it, a cassette these days. It does take some fine tuning. Obviously, it's a much wider spread between the gears nowadays than what you used to have. So that is a great piece of kit, very easy to fit. You just have to fiddle about with the screws and stuff. But you know, I'm not going to cover any of the how-tos of how to set these things up because there's plenty of videos like that already on YouTube. Purely here just to show you all the parts that will work together, tried and tested. Okay, next up, it brings us on to the cassette, and I just need to have a quick look and see what the model number is for this one. This is quite a piece of kit, this one. And this is a Sunrace, where's the model number? MZ903. This, considering it's quite a bit of bling actually, on the back it's got a really nice anodised spider to hold the chain rings. This is a real bit of bling for the price. It was only a little bit more expensive than my whole chain ring at the front. So this is a great piece of kit, and this facilitates 11 to 51 teeth on the back. Now my old rear cassette, I had a Shimano XTR rear cassette, which was probably 11 to 32 teeth, something like that. I did away with the top chain ring and put on a Hope 40 tooth, I think it's called a T-Rex or something along those lines, which has been excellent and really gave me a nice easy gear for when the going gets really tough. However, it just got so worn out that literally if I was climbing up a hill and putting any load on it, my chain was slipping, which is the main reason why I'm upgrading to this system here. Now, this just is a really great piece of kit. When I had to put the 40 tooth chainring cassette expander cog on the back, I had to lose one of the gears out of the middle of my XTR cassette, which left you with a real horrible dead spot right in the middle of your chainring, which was horrible if you were, you know, heading downhill and then just started to climb up a hill, and you think you're just in a good gear. Maybe I'll drop it to a one gear easier just to make it, you know, a little bit lighter load on my legs. And because there was a cog missing from the middle, you'd end up jumping up through two cogs, and it was just really threw your flow out, and you'd end up losing, you know, a lot of momentum on a hill where you're trying to sort out which gear you need to be in. And of course, by the time you sorted all that out, you've lost your momentum, and then you end up in the granny ring anyway because you've slowed right down. So that was annoying. And I've always found that the 11 tooth chainring, cassette sprocket didn't give me a low enough gear to go fast enough. If I was heading down a hill, I would find myself in a situation where I'd have to stop pedalling because I was going like Billy-O and not actually going any faster. So what that has allowed me to do is change my teeth on the teeth count on my chain set from 32 tooth to 36, which will give me a much lower, harder gear for when I need to build up speed, basically. So I shouldn't be spinning so much as I have done previously. Before I did all this, I made up a chart of all the different gear ratios that I had already, and then what I would have with different chain rings with my new cassette on the back. And basically I picked the one that would give me more lower grunt and easier gears as well. But not quite as easy as it would have been if I'd left it as a 32-tooth chain ring, of course. So this is a great bit of kit. I've spent some time fine-tuning this. Having read some stuff on the internet, I did think to myself that perhaps it's going to be a bit of a nightmare doing this, but I found it to be quite easy. I did used to work in a bike shop, as a disclaimer, but that was over 20 years ago, and not much has changed, but obviously things are a little bit different. So I just fettled the gears. If you can figure out what you need to do with some of the screws on the rear derailleur, that will get you set up in no time. But like I say, this is not a how-to video on how to actually set things up. I'm just trying to show you what works, and that is about it. I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of the gears, how they're working. You can see it's all nice and smooth. Bottom gear. All the way up to the very top gear. So I'm really looking forward to getting out and giving this a good old bruising. It really should improve my rides, I have to say. Okay, so thank you very much for watching my video. Hope you've gained some knowledge there. I have put this all together over the last couple of days in between jobs at work and stuff, and I have to say it all went very straightforward. And I have taken it for a spin around the block, and the gears work superbly, so I'm really pleased with the whole setup. If you've got any questions, bung it in the comments below. I do always reply to any comments, but I will never see your reply. So please, if you do leave a comment, get it all out in the first one, because I do not get a notification if you reply to my reply. There you have it. I hope you learned something about how to fit a new 12-speed system with your old Hyperglide compatible rear hub. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe if you like this content, and also you might actually like my other videos. I'm doing a program this year where I'm losing 3 stone over the next 12 months. I've only got a very short way to go, and I've got about 4 months left to do it. So I'm doing really well with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.